Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to the Alchemy of Aging and day 6 using the Wisdom of Aging card deck. Really excited to have you with me again. And it is, as I'm participating here, it is a beautiful spring day in the South with lots of blooming and beautiful aromas. Mother Nature at her finest, and it just happens to be Earth Day. And so it's particularly wonderful to be able to share these thoughts with you this day. And today, we're going to be working once again with air. Air. The spring air is so clean and so fresh, and it's just joyous. So, no pollen. Well, we've had a lot of rain, so there's been a release of pollen in the air. And so it's very clean, and I'm enjoying it tremendously. So our first card today is expectation. Now, I just want to remind you that air is the mental realm, and it's the realm of our thoughts. It's the realm of where we set our intentions, and we talked about that. We've talked about that. Intentions are the gateway to manifestation. Air will also teach us about our imagination and give us pause in the dream time. The first card today that I want to work with is expectation. I choose to limit expectation and open to the highest outcome. Through the years working with my clients, one of the biggest challenges that they face and that we all face really is the setting of expectations. And so what happens to us when we set an expectation? We focus, and everything we see is, I'm expecting this outcome, I'm expecting this outcome, et cetera, et cetera. What actually happens when we begin to have an expectation is that everything in the periphery becomes sort of muted and we don't see it because we're so focused on the expectation of what it is that we want to have. So an expectation can actually suck the air out of the possibilities that are available to you. And we want to examine our expectations and perhaps leave them at home or lock them away so that we are open to all the amazing gifts that come when we set an intention and surrender to the outcome and release our expectation of what it's supposed to be. We often miss some really marvelous opportunities because we have an expectation of how it is to be. And that kind of links in with perfectionism and how that can be disruptive to actually accomplishing and manifesting what it is that you want to happen. We want to be real careful with our expectations. We want to make sure that when we look ahead, that we look ahead realistically. Now, that's not to say that we can't focus, because yes, we want to have concentration. And at the same time, we want to be open. So just watching our expectations and making sure that we're not setting ourselves up for huge disappointments and really taking advantage of what's available. So the next card that I want to work with is asking. I choose to remember that it is a gift to others to ask for their help. Sometimes we forget as we age, we think, well, I've been around a while. I should know how to handle these things. Yeah, I can do this myself. And we miss the boat once again in several ways. Last time we talked about collaboration, and asking is a continuation of collaboration. It is a gift to other when we ask for their help. It certainly helps them to feel, number one, that you value them, that you trust them, and that they have the opportunity to be of service to you, and in a sense, to community. When we ask someone, we're really gifting them. Now, it gets a little tricky when you're asking or someone is asking you, let's say, and you want to say no. So how do you do that? Well, authentically and honestly. Truthfully, maybe you don't have the energy to do that or the time. And that's okay. And then you need to accept if they tell you likewise, I don't have the time. But it doesn't mean they don't care. It doesn't mean that they're not in your corner and not supporting you. Don't prejudge what it is that they're saying. That if they say no, it means a certain thing, because it really doesn't. It just means at that moment in time, they're not able to support you. I think you'll find, for the most part, that they will support you, that they will say yes, and that they will give you the assistance that you need. So just be patient. Just understand that in the asking are many gifts. And finally, our third card today is decision making. I choose to bring new perspectives into any situation. So we are certainly living in times when there are many perspectives out there, multiple truths, shall we say. And it's just really important to base your decision making on getting lots of different perspectives. So when you've gotten those perspectives, you then have a better ability to make decisions. And comes a time like now when we've got to be really open in the decisions that we make. Got to be really open to hearing other perspectives. Got to be really open to assessing everything carefully, lovingly, and with compassion. So it's not the old decision making. There's so many more things that come into play in today's decision making. So I hope that you will choose to look at all the perspectives out there, that you will choose to be wise in your decision making. Wishing you a beautiful day. I hope that you're able to participate in the world today. We have a beautiful world. Go outside, breathe the fresh air, enjoy the day, knowing that every breath we take is the breath of life. So I'm bsalamon, Alchemy of Aging, working with the Wisdom of Aging card deck. Many blessings, and thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.